Welcome everyone, Costin here on Serious Gaming with a video about Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin. I got it to get a clearer picture of what the upgrade offers, so I can talk about it more in depth. So graphical changes, enemy placement changes, item changes, NPC placement changes, all that kind of stuff. As well as another issue that they fixed here with Scholar of the First Sin, though this also might apply to the DirectX 9 version of the game. So, graphically, does it look better? Yes. Does it look as good as with the mods for the vanilla game, which same mods don't work for Scholar of the First Sin? No, it doesn't. On a texture level, I think it looks slightly better. Actually, I'm not gonna go down there. But, here's the but. In terms of lighting, ambient occlusion, anti-aliasing. Oh, I'm gonna smash. And depth of field, the mods look considerably better on those levels. There's also no tessellation here, by the way. DirectX 11, my ass. What's with the higher system requirements? You barely changed anything on the graphical level, but you require a much more powerful system to be able to run this. The recommended system requirements for the DirectX 11 version of the game are ludicrous, considering the changes they made and considering the system requirements of the vanilla game. Get this, they require you to have an i7-2600K. It's like, what? Are you mentally challenged, Namco? i7-2600K for this game? Seriously? That's ludicrous. And I believe it's a GTX 750 that they require as well. Wait. I'm doing this on purpose. So on a graphical level, not really worth it. But what about on other levels? Well, they fixed some issues, some blurring issues, that is, with the controls on the PC version. Okay. Namely, if you were trying to block with certain combinations of mouse clicks and key binds on your keyboard, you're trying to block and you wanted to attack while blocking, you couldn't do that. They fixed that with vanilla controls. They also fixed the delay that people were getting on the mouse and keyboard. So those things are fixed, and before people say, oh, you shouldn't play Dark Souls 2 with the mouse and keyboard, screw up, I finished the game on New Game Plus 2 with the mouse and keyboard. Anyone who says you shouldn't play this is bloody mentally challenged, in my opinion. You can, and with auto hotkey, in fact, it runs very well. And, well, with the vanilla version of Dark Souls 2, at least in the DirectX 11 version, with the fixes they implemented, it's also okay. Not as good as with the mod. What does auto hotkey fix that the vanilla game still hasn't fixed? Even with Scholar of the First Sin, and by the way, auto hotkey still works with the DirectX 11 version. Download the program, download the script. These things are in the description of this video. And then run the script in admin mode. It runs just fine. But what does auto hotkey do that the base game doesn't? Well, for starters, I can do this using the mouse if I turn it off. Yep. That's a jump attack, and that's a guard break. Jump attack again. A jump attack, you trigger that by moving forward and then pressing your normal attack button. That's a guard break. And then jump attack, strong attack, and moving forward. That's how you do those things. In the vanilla game, you can't do that on the keyboard, but you can do that on the mouse. You can't use the mouse. For instance, I use the mouse left mouse button to attack like this, right mouse button to do a strong attack. And those things just don't work with well. Yeah, that's auto hotkey. Those are the things regards to controls. Now, to the final point, the only reason I said this might be worth it, and I have to stress this one out, might being the operative word right here. And that's the enemy placement. The enemy placement is slightly different. You've got, in Heidi Star Flame, you've got a lot of Haiti Knights. That I imagine were taken from all their areas. They put them right there, all of them. I didn't encounter one in the Forest of Fallen Giants. I didn't encounter one in this particular area, but I did encounter other enemies. So, for instance, here there's a bunch of soldiers with crossbows that weren't here before. I noticed there are bigger changes in the Forest of Fallen Giants and in Heidi's Tower Flame than there are in, say, No Man's Wharf. There are some changes in No Man's Wharf, but not really big ones. They're small things, like what, 2-3 enemies in total. But NPC changes. Look at Teal and the Garm, the merchant to which you can sell items. Those are in different locations altogether. Also, some items are placed in different locations. For instance, this bastard sword was close to its original location, but not quite there. It used to be in a house with someone dead there. Now it's on the roof of the house where there's turtle guards. Considerably more turtle guards in the Forest of the Fallen Giants than in Vanilla. And other things like that. Considerably more enemies. No Haiti Knights, but considerably more enemies than in the base game there. But that's annoying, really. It seems as if they decided that the way they're gonna make the game more challenging and do a different enemy placement is like, oh yeah, let's throw more enemies at the player because that's fun. That's exactly what people love in Dark Souls. Fighting multiple enemies at the same time. No one loves that. Dark Souls is designed around 1v1 combat. It's not designed around group combat. You can do it, it's not completely terrible, but it's also not the best thing. And there's a fragrant branch of yore that's required there. Interesting point. It's annoying as well to have to deal with that. I don't have a fragrant... Actually, wait, I do have a fragrant branch of yore. Why is that statue blocking the way then? Don't I... Yeah, there's a bunch of these statues. I noticed one in the tutorial area of all freaking places. The tutorial area? Seriously? I guess I don't have that fragrant branch of yore. Well, I'll need to get it. Right, I imagine I need to go to the other area. Enter this place through the other area, find the fragrant branch of yore to be able to access the boss fight. We also... There's these chests here that Macduff has. Another Titanite shard. I'll probably use that to upgrade the bastard sword. Is it worth it paying the price that they asked though for that different enemy placement? Does it make the game more interesting? A bit, yes. But not a huge amount, and that's kind of the issue here when it comes to this DLC, whatever you want to call it. I'm not gonna talk with him right now. Because although, yes, there's differences, all that, but it's just... I can't justify really the price point that's $20 or 15 euros. Europeans actually get the better deal because 15 euros is not the equivalent of $20 considering the way the euro is going right now. Really nowhere near that level. It's somewhere along the lines of, say, $16. So the Europeans got the better deal. I guess Namco Bandai in Europe either doesn't want to raise prices despite the fact that the euro has dropped in comparison to the dollar, or they're less scummy. Or a bit of both, could be a bit of both. Well, my intention wasn't necessarily to get hit by that explosion, though it was to actually do that. Blow them up, right? All of them. And although the price has been reduced in Europe, for the base game, at least if you own the DLC and the base game, I don't know about the situation people are in who have the game but don't have the DLC. It is $30 in America. I checked how much it is there. It is still $30. They haven't dropped the price there. But is that worth it for it? $30, I guess you could argue. You fuck. Since when does he do that? Oh, and there's the Pursuer, showing up in many more places than before. He loves to show up like that. He shows up in another place here as well. It's like he shows up in 2 different places in this area. It's like, yeah, let's fight the Pursuer. It's like, really, From Software, you just have to throw this son of a bitch at the players. Oh, I guess it makes a bit of sense, I guess. Yeah. And you need that fragrant branch of yore if you're going to progress. Annoying. Where do you get the fragrant branch of yore? Well, yeah, although you're not limited, you don't have to do the Bastille first. You can go to another area and get the fragrant branch of yore later. You can also buy it from a merchant, by the way. If that's your thing. If that's what you desire. That's a possibility. Not sure if this guy would drop anything. So yeah, well, at the end of the day, I still don't think it's worth it. Having seen it in action, it's nice that they fixed some of the glaring mouse and keyboard issues, but the mods still better with mods. The auto hotkey works with the DirectX 11 version, and that's a good thing, but the graphical mods don't. And that's the problem. On graphical level, not worth it. Seriously, spending $20 for a graphical update, you have to be an idiot to do so. For a mild graphical update, seriously? Why would you do that? What justification would you have for something along these lines? So, no. I would still not purchase it. If you own the game and the DLC. If you don't own the DLC, or if you don't own the game, yeah, sure, go ahead for it. That's kind of the biggest issue with this. They are being scummy. They are being greedy scumbags. But in certain situations, it's okay, besides the fact that they're dividing the community on PC, which they didn't have to do. What's the reasoning there? Also, they put in ludicrous system requirements for the game. Why would you need an i7? What's the justification for needing an i7 from software? Really, it has nothing that will require an i7. And yet they put it there anyway, because From Software and Namco Bandai, logic is quite lacking for both of them. And that's all I had to say here on the subject. While I played this till the end, I don't really think so. Although, sure, it's nice to play Dark Souls again. You know, I've kind of lost interest in the game. I enjoyed it. It's a good game. I think it's actually better than the first one. Personally, I do find it better than the first one, at least on gameplay level. Story level, yeah, I guess the first one is more interesting on that level, but I don't play Dark Souls for the story. I'm not one of those people who cares that much about the lore and all that. I find it a bit compelling, but not the main reason to play this series. I don't care for the minimalistic storytelling. Hi, Harris, you right? Now that Pursuer right there is a bloody annoyance, because you've also got to contend with the archers, well, crossbowmen, really, up here. And it's a bit of a problem, isn't it? Well, anyway, Costin here on Serious Gaming, signing out. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for more. Oh, a final note, if you're seeing this video in, say, 60p or something along those lines. That's a YouTube processing issue that they've had since Saturday, and it hasn't been fully fixed yet. It probably will take more time to get it to 1080p 60 fps. It only seems to occur with 1080p 60 fps videos, not or well, just 60 fps videos in general, not 30 fps videos. But since everyone worth their salt on YouTube is doing videos only in 60 fps, then well, that's a problem we all have to deal with. And YouTube will fix it. I imagine they will have to. And that's what you get when you implement 4K on YouTube in a way that doesn't work very well. They didn't do a very good job on that level. Anyway, Costin, signing out.